They say love dies in big dramatic moments. Screaming matches. Betrayal. Someone walking out the door and never coming back. But that's not how it happened for Michael and Anna. Their love didn't explode. It slowly went quiet. They had been married for 11 years. Long enough to know each other's habits, routines, favorite meals. Long enough to stop asking questions that once mattered. Their house was clean, organized, peaceful. And completely empty in ways neither of them wanted to admit. Most mornings looked the same. Michael sat at the kitchen table, half listening to the news, scrolling through his phone, already thinking about work. Anna moved around the kitchen on autopilot, coffee, dishes, keys. They spoke, but only in facts. Schedules. Appointments. Groceries. No emotions. No curiosity. No, how are you really doing? And the scariest part was that it felt normal. They weren't fighting. They weren't unhappy in an obvious way. They were just existing next to each other. Two people sharing a life without actually sharing themselves. They hadn't always been like this. When they met, everything felt intense. Loud. Alive. They talked for hours about dreams, fears, the future. Michael made Anna feel seen. Anna made Michael feel understood. They were best friends before they were husband and wife. But life has a way of quietly changing priorities. Michael's job demanded more of him every year. Longer hours. More pressure. He told himself he was doing it for them, for their future. Anna supported him, even when it meant putting her own dreams on hold. Just for now, she said. Just until things calmed down. They never did. And slowly, without either of them noticing, Anna stopped feeling like a partner and started feeling like background noise in her own marriage. The moment everything cracked wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It was a Tuesday. Anna came home early from work and sat in her car in the driveway, staring at the house they had built together. She felt a heaviness in her chest she couldn't ignore anymore. When she finally walked inside, Michael was there, typing on his laptop. "Hey," he said, without looking up. She waited for more. It never came. "I think I'm unhappy," she said quietly. Michael looked up, confused, almost defensive. "What do you mean?" "We're fine." That word hit her hard. Fine. Fine was the problem. She tried to explain what she felt. The loneliness, the feeling of being unseen, the sadness of realizing she missed the man sitting right in front of her. But the words came out tangled, emotional, imperfect. Michael heard criticism where she meant pain. He heard failure where she meant fear. That night, they lay in bed facing opposite directions, both staring into the dark, both feeling misunderstood, both terrified for different reasons. Anna was afraid she was losing herself. Michael was afraid he was losing everything he thought he was protecting. The argument came days later, sparked by something meaningless. Milk forgotten at the store. A small mistake that opened the door to years of unspoken feelings. Voices were raised. Old wounds resurfaced. Sacrifices were counted. Accusations flew. And then Anna said the words that stopped everything. "I don't want to leave you. But I can't keep living like this." For the first time, Michael didn't argue. He didn't defend himself. He saw the pain in her eyes, and it scared him more than the thought of losing control. They made a choice that night. Not a promise that everything would be okay. But a decision to try. Really try. Counseling wasn't magical. Some sessions were uncomfortable. Some ended in silence. But slowly, they started hearing each other instead of just reacting. Michael realized that being present mattered more than being busy. Anna realized she had learned to disappear instead of asking for what she needed. Counseling wasn't magical. Some sessions were uncomfortable. Some ended in silence. But slowly, they started hearing each other instead of just reacting. Michael realized that being present mattered more than being busy. Anna realized she had learned to disappear instead of asking for what she needed. They started rebuilding in small, intentional ways. Phones off at dinner. Walks after work. Conversations that went deeper than logistics. They learned how to argue without trying to win. How to listen without planning a response. One night, Michael said something he had never said before. I didn't know you felt that alone. I'm sorry I stopped seeing you. Anna cried, not from sadness, but relief. She replied, I'm still here. I just needed you to come back to me. Love didn't suddenly become easy. But it became honest. And honesty brought them closer than comfort ever had. On their next anniversary, they didn't celebrate with a big trip or expensive gifts. They sat outside together, talking, laughing softly, holding hands like they used to, not out of habit, but choice. Michael looked at Anna and realized he wasn't afraid anymore. Not because everything was perfect, but because they were facing life together again. Marriage, they learned, isn't about staying in love effortlessly. It's about noticing when love is getting quiet and choosing to speak louder. Their story didn't end with fireworks or dramatic gestures. It ended with something better. Two people who almost lost each other, standing closer than ever, knowing that love doesn't survive on autopilot. It survives on effort. And choosing each other every single day.